You know what the worst part about owning a car is? It's not the purchase price. It's sitting in that garage waiting room for the fifth time this year, watching the invoice climb another $200, $300 each visit, wondering when this cycle will ever end. That Honda Accord or Toyota Camry of yours used to be reliable. 15 years ago, it ran smooth, rarely broke down, dependable as sunrise. But now, every time that check engine light comes on, you feel exhausted. Not because you can't afford it, but because you're tired of the constant worry. Today, we're talking about a car that, according to leaked sources from Tesla, was designed to dramatically reduce repair bills over the rest of your driving life. That's the Tesla Model 2, expected to launch in 2026. And before you think this is just another expensive electric car, let me show you why this might be the smartest financial decision you'll ever make.
Why the current car system always drains your wallet. Let's be honest for a minute. You don't change oil because you enjoy it. You don't take your car in for inspections because you find it exciting. You do these things because the entire automotive system is built on one simple reality. Gasoline cars need constant maintenance. And every time you walk into that garage, this system makes money off you. Car dealerships, service bays, insurance companies, they don't want you to stop paying. They need you to come back. This time it's brakes, next time it's suspension, then the cooling system. On and on it goes. Older folks like us typically don't finance cars. We pay in full or close to it. We keep cars longer, drive more carefully, maintain them on schedule. But that's exactly why this system bleeds us over the long term. You're not the customer they want to sell a new car to. You're steady, long-term, reliable income. Every year you keep that car is another year you pay for gas, oil, air filters, brakes, tires, and hundreds of other parts this industry depends on to survive. And here's what they never tell you. Your car is designed to break. Not immediately, not obviously, but slowly, surely, and frequently enough that you always have to come back. It's not your fault that your 2010 Camry now costs $700 a month for repairs and gas. That's how the system works.
What Tesla is really targeting, and it's not speed. Most people think Tesla makes fast cars for young tech enthusiasts. And they're right, partly. But there's something Tesla hasn't hidden in their engineering reports. They're pursuing longevity. Not 1 or 2 years longer, but 10, 20, even 30 years without needing to replace major components. According to leaked sources from inside Tesla, the Model 2 is built on a principle Elon Musk once stated: the best part is no part at all. Sounds like a marketing slogan, but think about it. An internal combustion engine has over 2,000 moving parts. Each part is a potential failure point. Tesla's electric motor? Only about 17 main moving parts. That's not a minor improvement. That's a complete transformation in how cars work. The Model 2 isn't the cheapest car you can buy. Estimated pricing ranges from $12,000 to $30,000, depending on version and market. But it could be the car that costs you the least over the next 15 years. If you don't care about accelerating from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, if you just want a car that takes you from point A to point B without emptying your wallet, then Tesla is finally making a car for you.
The factory, where cars are decided to age fast or slow. Here's what few people understand. Your car doesn't break because you drive badly. It breaks because of errors from day one when it was assembled. A bolt not tightened enough, a weld off by 0.5 millimeter, a body panel not perfectly aligned. These errors accumulate over time. After 8 years, 10 years, they turn into rattles, water leaks, doors that won't close tight, and repair bills in the hundreds.
According to technical sources analyzing Tesla's production line, the Model 2 is assembled by a system with approximately 1,800 sensors monitoring every step. Each time a robot tightens a bolt, sensors measure torque, deviation, and exact position. If anything exceeds allowed tolerance, the line stops immediately, not after the car is finished, not when customers complain, right at the point where the error occurs. Compare that to how traditional cars are made. Panel gap spacing in typical cars accepts 2 to 2.5 millimeters. Tesla Model 2 maintains this gap at 0.4 to 0.6 millimeters using a Vision AI system. Why does this matter? Because larger gaps mean dust, water, and air get in. Over time, that leads to rust, leaks, and structural problems that are expensive to fix. Tesla's Statistical Process Control System, SPC 2.0, doesn't wait to inspect finished cars. It tracks torque, equipment temperature, and deviation in real time. If a parameter starts drifting toward a limit, engineers intervene before it becomes a problem. This method has cut post-production issues by 50 to 70%. That means fewer Model 2 owners having to return for rattles, leaks, or assembly errors.
The battery, the biggest fear, and why Tesla had to solve it. Everyone fears their phone battery dying after 2 years, so why wouldn't they fear an EV battery? They do, and that's why this is Tesla's #1 priority with the Model 2. If the battery dies after 5 years, the entire value of the car collapses. You can't sell it, you can't use it, you're stuck with a metal block worth $2,000 for battery replacement. That's financial disaster. This is why Tesla is exploring several advanced battery chemistries for the Model 2. One of the technologies being discussed in industry circles is aluminum-ion chemistry. Why would this matter to you? Because based on laboratory research, aluminum-ion cells could potentially withstand 8,000 to 10,000 charge cycles, while typical lithium batteries reach 1 to 2,000 cycles before significant degradation begins. If this technology reaches production, the Model 2 battery could potentially serve you for hundreds of thousands of miles without replacement. The engineering approach focuses on durability under real-world stress. When you fast charge a typical lithium battery, internal components can crack or deform over time. Advanced battery designs being considered for the Model 2 aim to distribute charging stress more evenly across the cell structure, reducing long-term damage from repeated fast charging sessions. Here's what matters most to daily drivers: temperature resilience. One possible direction Tesla may pursue involves battery chemistry that operates stably from -30 degrees Celsius to over 50 degrees. This is the moment when extreme weather turns from an inconvenience into a financial nightmare for most retirees with traditional EV batteries. If you live in northern Canada or Texas in summer, temperature-related battery degradation could cost you thousands in premature replacement. Safety is another critical consideration. The battery technologies being evaluated for Model 2 focus on reducing fire risk through inherently more stable chemistry. While no battery is completely risk-free, certain chemistries operate at lower internal pressures with materials less prone to thermal runaway. This could translate to lower insurance premiums for Model 2 owners, adding another layer of long-term savings most people haven't considered yet.
Die-cast frame and the total loss fear. Now, here's the question you really care about. If I crash, will I lose everything? This is a legitimate concern with Tesla's gigacasting technology. Instead of hundreds of metal pieces welded together, Tesla casts nearly the entire lower frame as one solid piece using a 50,000-ton press. This creates an incredibly durable structure, but it also raises concerns. If one part is damaged, do I have to replace the whole thing? This is the moment when a small accident turns into a financial nightmare for most retirees. The last thing you need is to be told your car is totaled because of a fender bender.
The answer, based on Tesla's design approach, is no. Tesla engineers gigacasting with layered crumple zones. In minor to moderate crashes, deformation zones absorb force without affecting the main structure. Tesla has simulated thousands of crash scenarios to ensure only the most severe accidents require replacement of the cast frame. And even in those cases, Tesla is developing modular repair processes aimed at reducing costs. The Model 2's cast frame achieves torsional rigidity reported in industry analyses at approximately 65,000 to 70,000 newton-meters per degree of twist. This number is significantly higher than the already stiff Model Y. Higher rigidity means the body flexes less when hitting potholes or uneven surfaces, helping protect door alignment, window seals, and interior components for many years without developing squeaks or misaligned panels. Tesla also protects the cast frame with an advanced anti-corrosion coating called GigaVel Ultra that could resist rust for 25 to 30 years, even in states that rely heavily on road salt during winter, like Michigan or Minnesota. Preventing corrosion is essential because rust is one of the leading causes of frame weakness in older cars. The casting process itself contributes to durability in ways traditional assembly never could. When metal is welded, the heat-affected zone around each weld becomes a weak point where stress concentrates. Over time, these zones can develop micro-cracks that eventually compromise structural integrity. A single-piece casting eliminates these zones almost entirely. The metal cools uniformly, creating consistent grain structure throughout. This is why some Tesla engineers have suggested the Model 2 frame could potentially outlast many components traditionally considered permanent.
Real safety and the long-term driver experience. Safety isn't just star ratings and crash tests. Safety is whether you can exit the car quickly when needed. Safety is whether you can see surrounding traffic clearly. Safety is whether the car rolls over when you turn the wheels suddenly to avoid an obstacle. These things matter far more to experienced drivers because we need cars that support us, not make things harder. The Model 2 is designed with a low center of gravity thanks to the floor-mounted battery. This significantly reduces rollover risk. In simulation tests, electric vehicles with floor batteries typically demonstrate 40 to 50% better rollover resistance than gasoline SUVs with high centers of gravity. For those of us who've been driving for decades, that stability when swerving to avoid obstacles could be the difference between a close call and a tragedy. Door hinges are designed with special anti-sag alloy, tested through 300,000 open-close cycles. This ensures doors still open smoothly and close tight for about 30 years. For experienced drivers, especially those with joint issues or reduced strength, having doors that don't stick or feel heavy is crucial. Seats are also calibrated at micrometer level by robots, ensuring they don't loosen or sag over the years. Another important feature is the adjustable regenerative braking system. For people unfamiliar with electric cars, regenerative braking can feel abrupt. The Model 2 allows users to adjust the level of regenerative braking from strong to nearly none, making the transition easier for those accustomed to gasoline cars for decades. Visibility is another critical safety factor rarely discussed. The Model 2 addresses this with an adaptive lighting system that adjusts beam pattern based on steering angle, speed, and detected objects. According to leaked specifications, the headlights could illuminate up to 400 meters ahead on highways, while automatically dimming sections that would blind oncoming traffic. This extra visibility range means you see hazards earlier, giving you more time to react safely.
Car price doesn't matter as much as 10-year price. Here's how most people think about car pricing. They look at the number on paper and decide whether they can afford it. But that's the biggest mistake you can make. Purchase price is only part of the equation. The real cost is the total amount you spend over 10, 15, or 20 years of owning that car.
And that's where the Tesla Model 2 could potentially save you significant money. Say you buy a new Toyota Camry for $25,000. Over 10 years, you'll spend an average of $15,000 on gas, $3,000 on regular maintenance, $2,000 on unscheduled repairs, and about $1,500 on oil and filter changes. That's over $21,000, not counting higher insurance for gasoline cars in some states. Total, $46,000 for 10 years of use. Now consider the Model 2. Assume a purchase price of $20,000 for the base version. Over 10 years, electricity costs estimated at $3,000, maintenance significantly reduced because there's no engine oil, minimal brake wear due to regenerative braking, no exhaust system. Even if you have to replace tires 3 times, that's only about $1,200. Total, approximately $24,000 for 10 years. That's $22,000 in potential savings. And after 10 years, if Tesla's battery durability claims hold true, the Model 2 battery could still retain over 85% capacity, while the Camry might need a new engine or transmission. But here's what really matters: peace of mind. Not wondering every time you start the car whether today's the day something expensive breaks. Not budgeting hundreds every month for maintenance you can't predict. That psychological relief is worth more than any spreadsheet can calculate. Cheap at purchase has never been cheap at the end. That's a lesson many of us learned the hard way.
Launch, timing, and what not to believe. Currently, Tesla has not officially announced a launch date or opened reservations for the Model 2. All information about timing, features, and pricing is speculation based on leaked sources, community analysis, and filed patents. This means if someone contacts you saying you must reserve now to hold a spot, that's not Tesla, that's a scam. Tesla always announces officially through their website and major media channels. They never request deposits through email, messages, or strange phone calls. If you're interested in the Model 2, the safest way is to follow Tesla's official website and wait for official announcements. Don't rush. Don't let anyone pressure you with phrases like "only 5 spots left" or "this deal ends today." Those are signs of fraud. Reasonable predictions about launch timing fall between Q2 and Q4 of 2026, based on production line construction at Gigafactory, Texas, and internal reports. But Tesla has a history of delays compared to initially announced timelines, so be patient and don't believe any information that doesn't come from official Tesla sources. Now, I want to hear from you because this matters. After everything we've discussed, the manufacturing precision, the million-mile battery, the cast frame, the real costs over time, I need to know where you stand. If you believe the Model 2 could actually end car bills and you're seriously considering it as your next vehicle, comment "Ready" below. If you think this is all hype and you're sticking with your current car or planning to buy another gas vehicle, comment "Staying." And if you're somewhere in the middle, still weighing the options and not sure yet, comment "Thinking." I read every single comment, and your responses will help shape the next videos in this series. Are we looking at a real revolution in car ownership, or is this just another electric vehicle that won't deliver on its promises? The only way to know what real people actually think is if you tell me. So take 5 seconds right now and drop your vote in the comments. Ready, staying, or thinking? Let's see where this community stands.
So the final question is, should you wait for the Model 2 or not? I can't answer that for you, but I can give you a framework to think through. If you hate having to take your car in for repairs every few months, if you're tired of watching gas prices climb every year, if you want a car you can keep for 15, 20 years without worrying about mounting maintenance bills, if you want the peace of mind knowing this car will be the last one you need to buy, then the Model 2 is a possibility worth considering. But if your current car is still running well, if you have no issues with regular maintenance, if you're comfortable with the gasoline system, then there's no reason to rush. This decision must be based on your specific situation, not pressure from anyone. What I know for certain is the automotive industry is changing. Electric vehicles are no longer something from the distant future. They're here, and they're being designed better, more durable, and more suitable for long-term users every year. The Model 2 may not be perfect, but it represents a direction many manufacturers will have to follow. Cars that need less repair, cost less money, and help owners escape the endless cycle of expenses. The question isn't whether Tesla will release this car. The question is whether you still want to live in the old cycle. If this video was helpful to you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep analysis about Tesla technology and new products in their ecosystem. In the next video, we'll talk about the Tesla Pi phone and the question, can a phone that connects directly to Starlink satellites without needing a SIM card or Wi-Fi really be feasible? And if it is, how will it change the way we communicate, especially for people living in rural areas or who travel frequently? I'll see you in that video. Take care of yourself, drive safely, and never let anyone pressure you into a decision you're not ready for.